The Sims. We all love The Sims, don't we? Since the year 2000, The Sims has brought hundreds of thousands of hours of joy to millions of people all around the world. Maxis, the original developer headed by Will Wright, proved that a game performing mundane tasks such as emptying the rubbish and going to work could actually be fun. There have been so many variants and spin-offs of The Sims which I won't get into, but the mobile version of The Sims has always been a bit different. The closest a mobile version of The Sims has got into the original PC version was with The Sims 3. This was a paid app which allowed you to control aspects of your Sims in real time without having to wait for things to complete. This simplified version of the PC game was later removed from the Play Store. The Sims Freeplay was released in 2011, which ultimately took its place. Sims Freeplay, as its name suggests, was a completely free version of The Sims. The only downside to this was what the developer, now EA, was asking for in return. Over the years, the game appeared to get greedier, introducing adverts and increasing the amount of time and life points required to complete certain tasks. These old-school fans of the PC version, who were used to time speeding up when going to work or sleep, would now have to wait hours upon hours for their Sims to finish simple tasks. If you forget about the original PC version of the game, The Sims Freeplay is a great mobile game, which just gets greedy, just as so many other mobile games do. So, does The Sims Mobile improve on this formula? Let's get on with the review and take a look. Let me know if you agree with my thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for future videos. You start off in the Creator Sim. The Creator Sim in The Sims Mobile is extremely good. You can customise almost every aspect of your Sim's appearance to make him look exactly how you want. Fit, athletic, fat, tall, short, muscly. There's really something for everyone here. The initial selection of clothing isn't that great, but it's a start at least. More on that later. Your Sim's appearance, gender, and name can be changed at any point during the game. So you start off in The Sims Mobile kicking over boxes in the new house you've moved into. You're led through the controls and gameplay elements of the game, and then introduced to an old favourite, Bella Goth. Bella seems to have had a bit of a facelift since the original Sims, but who are we to judge? From here, you're told to get yourself a barista job at the local coffee shop. This is where you learn how earning money and tokens in The Sims Mobile works. The premise is simple. You choose a shift to work, quick, standard or long, each giving increasingly larger rewards, but also taking an increasingly longer time to complete. You can speed up your shift by interacting with people and objects in your workplace. Speeding your shift up uses your Sim's energy. Some actions require more energy than others, but these will speed up your shift more quickly. Once you've used up your energy, you can no longer speed up your shift. And to replenish your energy, you must either use a cupcake or go home and have a poo. Okay, that sounds a bit off, but actually going home and having a poo, a shower or a bath will recover some of your energy. The other way to recover energy is to just leave your Sim be working at his or her own normal pace. In 3 minutes you will recover 1 energy point. So it doesn't take a mathematician to work out it will take 90 minutes to be back to full strength. As you speed up your shift, your Sim will gain confidence to perform risky actions. These risky actions range from making a souffle to suggesting a dodgy business plan to your boss at work. And the risk means more reward. For example, a standard action to speed up time can use 1, 2 or 3 energy, and rewards you with approximately 2, 3 or 5 minutes off the remaining time of your shift. A successful risky action, however, can take off a full 15 minutes, so it's definitely worth performing them. If you fail, however, you then waste 3 energy and only get about 3 or 4 minutes off your time. There appears to be no real link between the risk meter and whether or not the action is successful or not. Even if your Sim says he or she is feeling confident and the risk is shown as green, which means a good chance of success, you might still fail and make yourself look like a complete idiot. Once you complete a shift, you'll be awarded some money, job experience and some house tokens. Money helps you buy new items, job experience helps you level up in your career, and house tokens help you buy nicer things for the home or workplace. Leveling up in your job allows you to earn more money and experience, and each time you level up, you'll also unlock new objects. Traits are, as you'd expect, traits your Sim has. You can select a few different ones which each have different benefits, whether it's from gaining bonus experience while at work or getting a boost while you're at home. These often forgettable traits are there, but don't really play a huge part in the game at this stage. Every day you log into the game, you're given a to-do list. This is a way to earn experience, money and cupcakes. This sounds like a good idea initially, but at the time of writing, the daily to-do list is the same every day. In some ways, this makes it easy to remember to get that little bit of extra money or experience, but at the same time, you soon get bored of doing the same things over and over, and you tend to leave it alone. If during your time playing the game you complete one of these items on the to-do list, then it just happens to be a happy coincidence. I'm sure as the game matures this will be improved, or maybe offer you some tasks to do which are more in line with your Sims and their work. Quests I found are more interesting than the daily to-do list. From having a baby, getting married, completing chapters of your career and friendships, they offer a more rewarding experience than the monotonous chores of the to-do list. Events. Where do I start off with these? Standard events are meant to offer better rewards for your sim. These include money, house tokens and player experience to help you level up. Where the Sims Mobile goes wrong here is with their special events. Some special events are potentially paid for by companies. For example, a recent ASOS fashion event took place which saw you perform various tasks in the hopes of unlocking a new career, the photography career. When the event started, you had just over 2 weeks to finish it. You were initially set 11 tasks to complete. These took time to complete but were generally not too difficult. As I got closer to the 11th task, I was getting excited that I'd soon be unlocking the photography career. However, when I completed the 11th task, after about a week, I was then told I now had to collect 3,000 ASOS tokens to buy ASOS clothing in the store, and only then would I actually unlock the photography career. After a few days of attending fashion events and after parties, I did some calculations. I worked out that, without spending any SimCam money, I could get about 190 to 200 tokens maximum per day. Now, bearing in mind I had 7 days left, it soon dawned on me that I would not be able to unlock the career after all. Now compare this to the Easter event, which lasted about a week in total. I was just about able to complete this and unlock the pink bunny rabbit before the time ran out, and that I didn't spend any sim cash or real money. So what's the deal with this ASOS event? I'm certainly not the only person to experience this. It's things like this that make you resent the game. You try your hardest to get as many tokens as possible, watch loads of video ads, which normally give you an additional 1 token, and which also gives money to EA, and yet it's physically impossible to complete the event without spending real money. Bearing in mind I was waking up at about 6:30 AM, sending my Sims off to earn their tokens, speeding things up along as much as possible, and then finishing the day at about 11:30 PM with a measly 190 tokens. It was literally impossible to earn anything more than that, as the ASOS events all had cooldowns of 6 to 8 hours, so you couldn't do them more than twice in a day unless you didn't physically sleep. I must say this left me feeling a bit cheated. Anyway, enough about events, let's have a look at how the build mode works. Build mode works reasonably well, but as is to be expected, it's a bit clunky on a mobile device. You press and hold on objects to pick them up, and can then drag them around the screen. This works okay for the best part, but the problem is, you'll find that the item panel keeps opening up when you're placing objects, and this takes up most of the screen. Sometimes it's nice to just have a look at what you've put down and see if it suits the place. That aside, building new rooms and expanding existing ones is done very well. You can expand the land around your home to increase the size of your plot, and therefore expand your home accordingly. So how about items for the home? It's all very early days for the Sims Mobile, but the number of available items is very sparse. Also, of the ones that are available, some are only unlocked at certain player levels, require other items of a collection to be purchased first, or, worst of all, require sim cash. One of the first items I wanted to buy was a bathtub. Not much to ask, is it? Well, apparently it is. 150 of your sim cash, please. Bear in mind I've been playing this game every day for about a month now. I've only just managed to scrape enough together to actually afford it. And now I don't even want to buy it and fear that I might need it for something else. Want to add a third sim? That's 175 sim cash, please. Want an ugly looking brown dining table? That's 90 sim cash, please. Want an elm cabinet to put in the kitchen? That's 20 sim cash each, please. Want a vile coloured rustic lamp for your bedroom? That'll be 75 sim cash, please. Don't get me started on unlocking any items early, because you will literally need thousands of sim cash to do this. And to earn sim cash you need to complete quests, but only some quests give you sim cash, and the ones that do only give you 1 or 3. Yes, that's 1 or 3 sim cash. You can now see why I'm scared to spend any that I've earned. You can unlock new career or hobby items whilst working up the career ladder or improving your guitar skills, which does give you something to work towards, but it feels like a lot of effort for an item you may not even want in your house. During your time in the game, you'll see a very lively world, with Sims wandering around, playing, chatting and arguing with each other. If any of these Sims have a blue plumbob, then that denotes it's someone else's Sim. You can interact with other players' Sims and even visit their house to get some design tips. You can add them as friends, have parties, and expand your virtual friend list. Some quests require you to have some friends, so don't be too much of a loner. When you become friends with someone, you choose a relationship story to start with them. Whether it's geeking out, talking about sports or music, you unlock new clothes and accessories by socializing with that person. Don't worry, your Sim can have multiple relationship stories with different friends. One final way to unlock new items is to give your Sim a hobby. There are currently 5 hobbies to choose from: guitar, cooking, yoga, writing and piano. After your Sim feels they've peaked in their career, you get the option to retire them. After they retire, you get an heirloom. Heirlooms are pieces of junk you display in your cabinet, which will offer some form of benefit. They basically upgrade traits to higher levels. This, in theory, means you'll be able to level up quicker and earn more experience with the new Sim you create. It also gives you the chance to create a new story with them. Overall, I've really enjoyed playing The Sims Mobile. I've spent a long time just designing my house in build mode after I accumulated a large amount of money. It's fun watching your Sims go about their everyday tasks and interacting with each other, but it can really feel like a grind to get those things done sometimes. I also think there is actually too many things to do in the game. Do you want to try and work hard at your career, or do you want to try and complete quests, the daily to-do list, events, special events, relationship stories, or your hobby? The big question is, however, is whether this is better than The Sims Freeplay. Well, in its current state, no. But The Sims Freeplay has been around for 7 years, whereas this is just new and is hopefully still finding its feet. The things that stop this being the perfect Sims game on a mobile is the greed. It really makes me sad to not only see hundreds of microtransactions, but also adverts left, right and centre. I often wonder what Will Wright would think about how his franchise went. So what do you think about The Sims Mobile? Leave your comments below and I'll enjoy reading them whilst playing The Sims Mobile and probably trying to complete whatever the current special event is. Sigh. So until next time, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.